It was late at night. Someone suddenly asked in the class group chat, everyone, sum up your high school life with 3 keywords. Lin Cyan, the long minus silence cool beauty who had barely spoken in years, suddenly appeared, beautiful, passionate. She paused, then added in Zhang Qiyao. A single stone stirred 1,000 waves. At Changming High School, they had been the most legendary couple, the rebellious bad boy and the gentle school beauty. They loved each other with raw, burning sincerity. But they broke up in the summer after graduation, leaving behind regrets that lingered like unfinished poetry. Everyone in our class had witnessed it, including me. I turned to look at the sleeping man beside me, Zhang Qiyao. The former rebellious teenager had shed all his sharp edges to become my husband. Dignified, steady, and not in love with me. The thorn buried deep in my chest for so many years began to ache again. The others seemed even less able to let go of the past than those directly involved. Is Cyan still single? Someone asked. Her moments always say she's single. But does anyone know about Zhang Qiyao? He left the group right after they broke up. Cut off all contact with us classmates. We only see him in the news. Come on. All these years and not a single gossip headline about him. He's so busy. Definitely no girlfriend. Yeah, when you meet someone unforgettable when you're young, you don't settle. Why did they break up anyway? Young and stubborn. One was going abroad, the other got angry. Isn't this just the perfect setup for a second minus chance romance? They kept shipping the two of them, growing more and more excited. I stayed silent the whole time and started to wonder, am I the one Zhang Qiyao settled for? After thinking for a while, I turned off the light to sleep, but Zhang Qiyao's phone screen lit up in the darkness. Yao. I'm back. No contact name saved, but only Lin Cyan ever called him Yao. He was sleeping soundly, as usual. His hand rested on my lower abdomen. Through my nightgown, his wedding ring felt unusually cold that night. An unease crept into my chest. For a moment, I wanted to delete that message. I knew his phone password, 579,579. On the 9- keyboard, it spelled Zhang Qiyao and Lin Cyan. Even their names matched perfectly. I stared at the unlocked screen for 2 full minutes, then put the phone down, doing nothing. Sneaking around would feel pointless. Besides, Zhang Qiyao would never indulge me the way he indulged Lin Cyan. In high school, I once saw Lin Cyan get upset because a younger girl kept chasing him. He handed his phone over. Smiling jealous? I already rejected her friend request. Forgive me, little boss. If you're still worried, check my chats. Delete any girls you want. Thinking about that, I couldn't sleep. I held out until 7 in the morning. Zhang Qiyao woke up. Normally, he followed a strict schedule and went to work out early, but not today. He stared at his phone for a long time, seemingly replying to messages. He didn't get up until 8. Zhang Qiyao, I called out. Are you going to the school anniversary? We never had much to talk about. Sharing a bed, yet I only found out about it from the class group chat the night before. He turned back, hesitated for a moment, then answered yes. Are you going? I shook my head. High school wasn't a good memory for me. Everyone else went to reminisce, visit teachers, reconnect with friends. What I could recall was only shame. Zhang Qiyao said nothing. He probably didn't want to go with me anyway. In the group chat, the red notification showed 100 unread messages. The topic was still the same. Lin Cyan finally spoke again. Just woke up, see you all next week, friends. Different avatars all replied in seconds. That goddess appears. Looking forward to seeing you. Feels like CP fans got caught by the actual people. Lin Cyan sent a waving cat sticker. It's fine. I actually find this quite interesting. No one pressed further. They went back to discussing whether Zhang Qiyao would appear at the anniversary. Right as everyone was guessing, Lin Xian replied, "Don't worry. He just told me he's coming." Zhang Qiyao stood by the bedroom door, putting on his watch. "Aren't you getting up?" "You'll be late." It was 8:30. I stopped reading the messages and jumped out of bed. I had an appointment at 9 to play chess with Grandpa. I was never late. Except once in high school, there was a traffic jam. So I got off the bus early and ran to the school gate. 1 minute left before the bell. Zhang Qiyao was eating a bia as I, walking at a leisurely pace. 1 step away from the gate, he stopped, squatted down to tie his shoelaces, taking his time. It looked like he was waiting for something. Then I saw Lin Xian running toward us, and I understood he was waiting for her. At the door, I turned around. Zhang Qiyao sat at the dining table, drinking coffee slowly. I suddenly wanted him to drive me. "Zhang Qiyao, I'm late. Are you busy?" "My meetings start in the afternoon." He looked up from his newspaper. "I can send my driver." I hesitated. "Okay, thank you." "Thank you" appeared frequently in our daily conversations. Hanging up each other's laundry, brewing coffee for 2. All learned to thank you. We weren't really polite to each other. I wasn't late, thanks to the driver. Grandpa sat in the garden pavilion of the nursing home, waiting for me happily. We met at a park's go-corner. The old man played badly, moved his stones back, talked during others' games. Eventually, no one wanted to play with him. I had the same problem. People saw a young woman and didn't want to play with me either. So we became unlikely friends. Back then, I didn't know he was Zhang Qiyao's grandfather. He only mentioned having a rebellious, good minus for minus nothing grandson. Then one day, Zhang Qiyao came to pick him up. "Xiao Lai." Grandpa waved his hand in front of my face. "What's wrong? You're off today." I looked down at the board, completely lost. I smiled. "Grandpa's too good." I lost. He could tell something was wrong. "Fight with Qiyao." I shook my head. "We never fought. We didn't even argue." That afternoon, I stared at an unsolvable chess game for hours. One of the 10 golden rules of Go says don't be greedy. If in danger, sacrifice. I wondered if marriage followed the same rule. "Grandpa," I asked, "what do I do when I can't solve it?" He smiled and scattered the pieces. "Then scatter it." So just let it go." As autumn approached, I didn't swap out the clothes in the closet. When my body wash ran low, I didn't buy extra. I packed my books into boxes. Zhang Qiyo noticed the half-minus empty shelf. "Where are your books?" "Read them all." "Donating them," I lied. "I was just preparing, so I wouldn't have to rush when I left." That night, he was working in his study. I stood outside, took 3 deep breaths, and turned the handle. Zhang Qiyao sat at his desk, one hand holding the phone, the other rubbing his temple. He looked tired. His voice was soft. I can resolve my sight any time. It's been too long. I don't want to wait anymore." I stepped back silently and closed the door quietly. I found myself a little ridiculous. Zhang Qiyao was more anxious than me, and more patient. Divorce was something I treated with utmost care. I needed to be mentally prepared, choose the right time and place. But he didn't care. Maybe he was just waiting for Lin Xian. As soon as they got back together, he would tell me to divorce, handle me. I was taking this marriage too seriously. At night, I still brought up divorce, at the worst possible time, in the most casual tone, right as Zhang Qiyao was passionately kissing my ear. I turned my head away. "Zhang Qiyao," I said flatly, "let's get divorced." His lips stopped. In the darkness, he raised his head. I couldn't see his expression. His voice turned cold. "What did you say?" "Divorce." The light came on. Zhang Qiyao sat up. "Wen Lai, we need to talk." I didn't know what he wanted to talk about. Property division? Hiding it from Grandpa? But tonight all my courage was only enough to say those 2 words. Nothing more. "Your lawyers can draft the agreement. I'll accept any terms." I turned over, my back to him. I thought I heard him sigh softly. Then he left the bedroom. That night, without Jung Ki-yao beside me, I couldn't sleep well. I dreamed of the past. I hadn't thought about that version of myself in a long time. Maybe because I was afraid of awkwardness, or of inevitably mentioning Lin Sayan. Jung Ki-yao never asked about high school either. I wasn't like him. Everyone's center of attention. Or like Lin Sayan, easy to like. I was invisible. When people found out I was an orphan, the stares came. Seeing me drink tap water, the barely visible frowns. I could handle those. The turning point came when I bought takeout for my roommate. Swiped my meal card. 5.50. She gave me 5 yuan. When I said, and 50 cents. I became the stingy one in their stories. Grew up in an orphanage. Of course she's calculating, no social skills. No wonder we find her annoying. If she were likable, someone would have adopted her by now. From whispers behind my back to deliberate exclusion, to forming cliques. When I was called on to answer a question, people snickered. For the parents it minus up exercise, I had no partner. In every group photo, I stood at the edge. 3 years. Really hard to get through. Jung Ki-yao was the only sliver of light I glimpsed in those dark cracks. 3 days before the anniversary, the class monitor tallied attendance in the group chat. Everyone else responded. Not me. Someone finally noticed. W, are you in our class? Wrong group? Definitely not. I added everyone after graduation. Don't have her. Wait, could this be Wenlai? There's someone named Wenlai in our class. The one who stole money. The accusations came flooding back. That PE class. I was on my period, so I stayed in the classroom studying. Jung Ki-yao, always doing his own thing, was sleeping there too. When everyone returned, someone said money was missing from their drawer. All eyes turned to me. She was here the whole time. Who else? Besides her, who in our class would care about a few hundred yuan? The shampoo in our dorm has been running out fast. I bet she's using it. I bit my lip. It wasn't me. No one listened. Jung Ki-yao had been napping through it all. Until someone swept the books off my desk and tried to search me. He sat up slowly. What's the noise? His voice was lazy. She said it wasn't her. She was the only one here. He was clearly still half minus asleep, eyes barely open. Impatient. He spread his hands. And searched me too. I was here. But no one dared search Jung Ki-yao. Just before the anniversary, Lin Sayan sent me a friend request. Then another. With a note I know about you and Da Yao. We met at a cafe. She was still beautiful. Disarmingly warm. We had barely spoken in 3 years of high school. Now we sat across from each other because of the same man. You liked Da Yao back then, didn't you? I didn't answer. Don't worry. Let me guess. It started when everyone accused you of stealing? How do you know? Because I asked him about it. Why did you help Wenlai? Wanna know what he said? I looked up. Who's Wenlai? She smiled. We'd been fighting that day. He was in a bad mood. Just lashing out. He happened to help you by accident. He told me you two got married. You're the one he married 6 years after we broke up, right? Yes. 2 years ago. Grandpa had encouraged us. No ceremony. Just registered at the Civil Affairs Bureau. I broke my promise. I don't blame him. He sighed sympathetically. I felt complicated when I found out it was you. 1. Guilty. Using an old classmate to get back at me. 2. Relieved. At least it's you, not someone who could actually make him fall in love. I suddenly found some courage. Why are you really here? Wenlai, I don't want you to be kept in the dark and waste your life. I don't believe you. Her eyes widened. Whatever your real reason, it's not for my benefit. Saying all this, hinting at all this, it only shows one thing. I finished my coffee and stood up. You're not confident in your own feelings either. After leaving, I went to see Grandpa. He seemed to have been expecting me. He said you asked for a divorce. Grandpa, I'm sorry. Don't be. I know who you are. The problem is him. I was greedy. He patted my shoulder. I shouldn't have pushed you two together. Like, Grandpa, the woman he left came back. He was quiet for a long moment. When they broke up, it was his parents' doing. 200,000 to send her abroad. She wanted the opportunity. He didn't stop her. He was lost for a long time, but 8 years. You think he couldn't have gotten back together any time he wanted? If you two got married, beyond my suggestion, he was willing. How else would you have gotten past his parents? I didn't help there. I looked up stunned. I know my grandson. Don't be fooled by appearances. Hugged to him honestly. The day of the anniversary, Zhang Qiyao left early. He seemed to be avoiding me. I slept in. Woke up at noon. The group chat was active. Everyone here except the thief. I washed my hair. Put on makeup. Chose a champagne minus colored silk dress. Last year, Zhang Qiyao brought it back from a business trip. I never wore it. Afraid it wouldn't look good. Afraid he wouldn't remember. Standing in front of the mirror, I realized it suited me perfectly. At the ceremony, I caught Zhang Qiyao's eye across the crowd. Yan, he's looking at you. Someone behind me exclaimed. Lin Xian stood nearby, with the girl who had accused me of stealing. She didn't correct them. At the dinner, Lin Xian sat at the head of the table, accepting everyone's compliments. Where's Zhang Qiyao? He had work. He went back. So, tell us what's with the wedding ring. Vince. And blushed. Looked away. Stop asking. Everyone assumed she was being shy. So, when someone said, looks like you're doing well. I'm doing fine. You deserve it. Finally caught a break. Ting, the accuser, chimed in. Yeah, stealing my money back then was because you were desperate. I don't blame you. Do you have proof? What? Do you have proof I stole from you? If not, I'll sue you for slander.